How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Scarlet, and welcome back to a brand new video, guys. I am back from my vacation. In case you've been wondering why I haven't been uploading a lot, it's because I've been out. I've taken some time off to see my family, but we are back, and we're going to be getting right into the news and rumors and all that sort of stuff on the channel as per usual. So let's get started right away, kicking things off with this post right here. Now, what is this post about? Well, basically, it says, it has been announced that the next week's episode of the Japanese variety show, Pokidoko, or Pokisuda, I don't know, they kind of changed the name on it, I feel like, or there's two separate ones. But either way, is due to air on January 15th in 2023, which is on Sunday. And it is to have the world premiere of a special video to celebrate that we have now over 1,000 Pokemon, and it's set to make you enjoy the games 100 times more. It's currently unclear the format or concept of the video, or if it will be uploaded afterwards, but we'll post it as it comes. So, this is just something I wanted to share. Shout out to George on Discord for sending this my way. If you guys ever find these kind of things, information, news, rumors, leaks, whatever it might be, you can always send them to me on Discord and I will take a look at them because I do think it's worthwhile to cover. But what is this about? Well, basically, it's about the potential now of us seeing something new on the 15th, right, on this day. Now, are we going to see something new? I don't think so. I think it's going to be just a celebration thing, just like to be like, oh, hey, let's celebrate 1,000 Pokemon by showing off like all of the old Pokemon or something like that, you know, like a countdown of all the old Pokemon. I don't think it's going to be featuring anything to do with like actually a DLC or something, but there's always the potential, so I will be staying tuned for then. I don't know if I'll be streaming on that day. I don't really know about that. I'll have to be honest with you guys. But nonetheless, though, we will be making some, we'll be making some content if there is anything that comes out of that. So stay tuned for this Saturday, Sunday. Either way, let's move on to the next subject, which in this case is going to be this right here. Now, this comes from Matt over on Twitter, who is one of the people that does data mining and stuff like that for the Pokemon games. But they basically said, during the San Diego Regional Championship stream today, their manual sprite selector for the team previews accidentally showed off the Scarlet and Violet style menu sprites for Pokemon that are not currently in the game. They're probably just to have art for all those 1008 species for the future, which is interesting because does that either mean that they just made all the, like, they pretty much, okay, so that pretty much confirms that they have artwork done for all the Pokemon, right? Every single one of them has like the little sprite art that you guys have seen now. If you played Scarlet and Violet, like the art you see in the menus of the different Pokemon, that art now is, I guess, finished in all senses of the word. Like every version of it is finished for every single Pokemon that exists, which is not that surprising. I'm pretty sure the moment that they decided they wanted to use new sprites instead of the old school sprites. You guys remember the old school like menu sprites? I guess the moment they decided to step away from those and make new ones, they instantly had to make all of them, like not instantly. When I say that, I'm not referring to like, oh, they have to do it literally in this moment, but like in terms of like, oh, they literally needed to get all of them done anyways, so they just did all of them, which does not imply that all the Pokemon are going to return in Scarlet and Violet. That's what I know some people are going to think. And some people are going to think like, oh, their DLC is coming because of that. I mean, literally the first reply here is either that or they're from the DLC already in development, which sure, so Matt says that's also a possibility, but if I say that in the original tweet, some accounts and YouTubers may misconstrue my words and say that these are confirmed to return in DLC, which no, they are not. That's kind of like the whole point of what I'm saying right here, is that no, this doesn't confirm shit. When they're making these, they make all of them at once, because let's be honest here, these menu sprites are probably going to be reused, okay? They're going to probably be reused for the next games that we get, whether that be in, whether that be like Generation 10, or whether that be like a DLC, or whether that be, Soul Silver, Heart Gold remakes, or whatever might be coming down the line. We're going to be seeing these sprites reused, okay? All these old sprites are going to be reused, and we're probably going to have to make new ones for any potential new Pokemon. So again, nothing too crazy with that, nothing too surprising with that. It really isn't that strange, to be frankly honest with you all. It's not that crazy, but I thought I would share it because I know some people will be curious about it, and some people might misunderstand what it all means. But either way, ladies and gents, let's move on to the next thing, which is going to be this post right here from none else than Soul Silver, who says, it's very unlikely, but what if this post was actually an early leak about Scarlet and Violet and the DLC? I hadn't realized that it was from August 2021. Atlantis and past and future forms were true, and it could be possible that the third legendary sank Area Zero. The island is in the past. So basically, what is this post? Well, this is an old one, and funny enough, if you guys look at this image right here, if you look at that like image up there in the top, the right side of that image is literally from one of my thumbnails from back in the day. So that's literally from one of my thumbnails, which is really funny. But basically, here's what it says: the Atlas in Sword and Shield. is the Gen 9 clue, but it's not Australia. So you guys may remember there's like a book, and then there's like, oh, not a book, sorry. There is a globe, right? There's a globe that has like what looks to be Australia on it. But this person says, and I remember this rumor, by the way. We've covered this rumor in the past. Like, this is nothing new in some sense of the word. But here's what it says, though. The Atlas in Sword and Shield is the Gen 9 clue, but it's not Australia. It's going to be loosely based on Atlantis. 2 clues present in Legends Arceus, a message in a bottle on the beach, and the trident symbol in the professor's home. The legendary Pokemon are the Hands of Time duo. One represents clockwise, the other anti-clockwise. They can time travel between past and present and future, depending on the version. You'll either go back in time or forward to stop the legendary sinking the island when awakened. You will have ancient and future forms of Pokemon. The Kanto starters get regional evolutions, and the island is a water paradise. Now, let's start with the obvious issues here. There are no Kanto starter regional evolutions. That's bullshit. The island, well, I mean, could always happen in DLC, sure. The island is a water paradise. I don't really know about that one. It doesn't really feel as watery as Hoenn, I guess. There is a lot of water in Paldea, but that's not per se. And again, is this talking about the next generation or, you know, Scarlet and Violet? Well, you know, it's assuming this is supposed to be Scarlet and Violet. And then it also says that the legends are representing clockwise and anti-clockwise, which really isn't really true, I guess, because they are just, you know, they're kind of like paradoxes of themselves. Like, you know, one is from the past, one is in the future, but are they truly from the past and the future? You know, it's one of those things. But they do say time travel in the literal game, so I'm assuming it's time travel, but it's besides the point. Again, there's some stuff here that makes sense, and a lot of it that doesn't make any sense. However, one very important thing I have to point out to you guys, and this is the important thing, and please listen to me when I say this. You may look at this rumor and think to yourself, oh, it's bullshit, the games are already out. Except, here's the problem. We've had rumors in the past that definitely could have been real, because all the information was somewhat on point, with a few misses here and there. And the thing that you have to remember is, information can change. Plans can change. Like, that's one of the things, is that something that we've learned, especially with the last 2 years of covering these leaks and rumors, is that stuff can change from development. Like, just even like, if we look at the games themselves, like what you get in the first trailer versus the end of the game's release or whatever, there are usually some changes that happen. Now, imagine that, you know, you are one of these people that sees these early leaks, this early information. You see it early on, right? You get a whiff of it and you see what it's all about, and then you just put it out there into the world. Well, guess what? That information you put out could at any point change, right? If they're planning, like, let's say Generation 10, which, by the way, is in development right now. You gotta remember, these games are already starting the development way ahead of time. Generation 10 is already in development. Same goes for a bunch of other Pokemon projects and games. They're already being developed. So you can assume that maybe they might have a plan for something for Generation 10, but a lot of those things might change. Like right now, Generation 10 might be planned to be, well, let's hypothetically say Australia or Italy or something. Let's say it's one of those 2 countries, or India. And they're planning to make one on India, but the thing is, the plans for how it's going to turn out can change drastically. And from the outside looking in, if you're just somebody that gets a whiff of this and sees a little bit of it, you might misconstrue a lot of the information and be like, you know, you might look at it in a certain way, but then it's like, oh, wait a minute, this isn't really that accurate. But either way, this leads us to another post that was made here by Soul, which we're going to look into in a second. First, we're going to look at what the rest of it says here. Also, Area Zero, the island, is a type of paradise, and which, yes, the inside is kind of that. Correct and right on all legendaries that represent the past and future, which is true. However, the actual time traveling, and especially the regional forms for Kanto starters, feels very fake. Unless time travel was changed in development, or it's something we can do in DLC. And who knows, maybe the Kanto starters will get new forms that leakers thought were regional forms, but aren't. Or maybe they get regional forms in the games that come out after Sword and Shield, but still in Generation 9. Lastly, I haven't looked up those hints in PLA. If anyone has found them, let me know. And then we go back, and then we go over to the post that was given right here, which is Big Discovery of Scarlet and Violet Theory, credit to Sidonia for breaking this. The 4chan rumor wasn't real, but it came oddly close. Did you know that Datamine codename of the map in the region of Paldea is Atlantis? This makes me think that Area Zero probably isn't a crater, but it's actually instead is themed and more based off of the idea of a mysterious hidden land below the surface. So if we look here right now at the text file, it does say Atlantis talk _ 05, and it's that file. And then you have right here, Plato, through the character Critias in his dialogues, describes Atlantis as an island larger than Libya and Asia Minor, put together, located in the Atlantic just beyond the Pillars of Hercules, generally assumed to mean the Strait of Gibraltar. And then you can see the Atlantic Ocean, Atlantis, Atalantis, or Atlantica, was a legendary island in the Atlantic Ocean, first mentioned by the Greek philosopher Plato in his Timaeus dialogue. And yeah, again, it's just, and this is of course the Strait of Gibraltar is like right over here, I think. Right here, right on the edge right here. But either way, again, what's the point? Well, we'll continue on. So he says here, mysterious hidden land below the surface that didn't come from meteor. He says, I don't expect them to explain this fully, nor I think they will say it was a land once above the surface that crumbled and fell, but who knows? And then here we also have, like, again, him pointing out this old rumor, which again, we can look at what he said here first and foremost, which was just, if this rumor was from August, turns out being even half real, I will flip. Because it would be real, because Atlantis, because it lines up with Puke rumors too. It doesn't add up, but it's suspiciously close to the things like in Scarlet Valid time theme, plus Ku's legendary clock riddle. So yeah, I don't know, it's strange. And then also right here, we have another post from Somer, who says hands down on this rumor again. Why? Because Atlantis was located in Spain. Well, to be more accurate, the Iberian Peninsula. Spain, as such, didn't even exist, of course. You don't believe me? Look for Tartessos and compare the city shape to Atlantis. And again, you guys can look into that further. I'm not going to be doing that in this video right now, but shout out again also to my boy Somer for putting out some great theories. And shout out to Soul Silver as well, by the way. Either way, he says the following. This isn't a coincidence. As the images state, Plato made Atlantis up, yet there are still people today that believe it's real or mirroring the story around Heath and Area Zero. There were even search trips done in modern times on Atlantis' location, and they failed. Atlantis and fall. And then you guys can see the lost city of Atlantis, swamped by tsunamis, may be found. The big hint is its location, as hinted by Plato. It's believed to have been off of the Atlantic coast near Portugal and Spain. Naturally, since Plato was Greek, there's a big Greek connection to all of this, and the code name of Scarlet Valid just happens to be Titan, another Greek god reference. Lastly, Corydon abilities names are connected to this, especially Corydon. Orichalcum is the metal of Atlantis. See below, and you guys can see right here, the Greek philosopher Plato made Orichalcum a legendary metal when he mentioned it in the Critias dialogue. Plato described Atlantis as flashing with the red light of Orichalcum. He wrote that the metal was mined in the mythical island and was used to cover the interior of Poseidon's temple. And then again, has been held to be either a gold copper alloy or a copper tin or copper zinc brass, or a metal or metallic alloy no longer known. In later years, Orichalcum, geez, that's such a hard name to say, was used to describe the sulfide mineral chalcopyrite, and also to describe brass, which, fair enough. So we continue on further down here, and it says the following. It says, lastly, orichalcum is the metal of Atlantis, and then quarks form hadrons, which are the basis of these potential world-ending machines, built by some wild scientists and physicists, which the Hadron Collider is like the world's largest. I already know about this one. I remember when they actually turned this one on back when I was a kid. It was built by the European Organization for Nuclear Research between 1998 and 2008 in collaboration with over 10,000 scientists and hundreds of universities and laboratories, as well as more than 100 countries. Which, yes, used for research purposes. At one point, people thought that it was going to cause the end of the world or summon a black hole. But that's besides the point. I obviously don't know near enough about the LCH machines or the physics behind it, but the connection is there's prominent machines and companies named Atlas or Atlantis, and this is where Game Freak must have made the connection. Ultimately, it's just a super interesting connection. Atlas is the largest general-purpose particle detector experiment at the Large Hadron Collider, so there you go. But maybe it will be one they explain more in the DLC, or maybe it will always just remain as the original concept and inspiration for Paldea and the plot of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Again, a lot of possibilities, a lot of directions you can go with this, but again, I want to know what you guys think about this. Your thoughts and opinions are appreciated, especially about these sort of things, and I just want to know, do you guys personally think that Atlantis was the original kind of basis or ID, or somewhat of a background ID for all this? And if so, do you think we will see anything Atlantis related down the line? Like, will we see an actual, like, I guess Atlantis region, if you want to call it that? So, like, that's kind of what I'm curious about. Do you think that's something we will see? Do you think that's something that will happen? Again, you guys' thoughts and opinions would be appreciated on this. Just really would see what you guys all think about it and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I think there is, again, we did have, like, some mayor's posts right here. I guess we might as well go into it as well. And then he says here, you know, if you look again at the whole rumor, this is Blaziken posting about it. Also, what people pointing out, referring to Scarlet and Violet's lab map, hinting at Gen 9 being in Australia and so on, was in fact a map of Spain turned around. But cannot remember on the top of my head if anyone could add the image below so that we can contrast that is insane. And then, yeah, some people deleted their posts, which fair enough. But yeah, again, I want to know you guys' thoughts and opinions. Let me know in the comment section down below. And that's going to be it for the day, guys. Thank you all for watching. We're back on the grind again. I'm going to try to give you guys daily videos if there is stuff to cover. If there is nothing, then, you know, if there's small stuff, what I'll do is I'll compile that small information into one package and give you guys a longer video. Hope you like these videos that are more about like 15, 16, you know, 17, 20 minutes long, you know, something that's above just like the 10-minute mark. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And again, thank you all for watching. Sorry for being away for such a long time. Sorry for not posting a lot. We're going to be getting back on the grind. There's lots to be done. There's lots to talk about. There's a lot to speculate about and loads of videos to make for you guys. So thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys the next time. Peace out. Bye-bye, ladies and gentlemen.